Hi everybody, welcome back to Determined to Praise. So I pray that you guys enjoyed last week's video, just me kind of explaining what God wants from everybody. I pray that you guys continue to like, share, subscribe. Please comment, let me know if you guys are enjoying the videos or if there's anything specific you would like me to talk about. As you guys know, we're still doing the faith over fear. This is going to be a thing for most of the year, but this is really a thing for the rest of our lives. Having faith over fear is really going to help us gravitate to God and learn to really trust in Him in all things, because when we can trust our faith and we can trust in God over the fear and the doubts, it's really going to help us move forward and know that as long as we trust Him, He's going to fulfill the needs in our lives and He's going to make a difference. And the more you can trust Him with the little things, the more you're going to trust Him with the big things. But you'll never be able to know God fully until you're able to have faith over fear. You'll never be able to see the fullness of Him or how He can move in your life until you learn to trust Him. So today we're going to be talking about, what do you see? What do you see? So I have a few things written down that I'm going to say first. Okay, what do you see? What you focus on is what you see. How you view life is what you see. What are you focused on? God or your problems? Faith or fear? What do you see? I wrote down the definition for see. It says to perceive with eyes. So in life, we're going to go through things. That's a given. Whether you're with God or not with God. You know, whether you trust Him or not, you're going to go through stuff. That's a given. The difference is that when we have God in our lives, we have a person to talk to, someone to call on to help us in our lives, to deal with our problems. We can literally take our problems and lay them on Him, and then God will help us take care of them. It may not always be the way you want it to be handled, but God is going to handle them. He's going to provide for you. He'll be there for you. The problem is that we always expect things to come the way we want them to, and we don't trust God's plan or His will for our life. And God knows us better. He knows what we need better. He knows what's going to work better for us than we do for ourselves. It may not always be what we want, but it will always be what we need. So in life, we go through things, right? We can't stop that. People lose jobs. People are fired, or, you lose a loved one. We go through all these different things in life, and a lot of times we allow our problems to overtake us. Now, am I saying that means if you go through something in life, that means, oh, whatever, get over it? No, absolutely not. What I'm saying is focus your vision on Him. Most of the time, we can't see God in our situations because we're choosing not to see Him in our situations. We're choosing not to focus on Him because we're too frustrated on what we're already dealing with. Oh, God, if you're here, if you see me, why are you allowing me to go through this? But what we have to understand is that a lot of the storms that we go through, they're necessary to help us become the person who God has created us to be. If we didn't go through storms, we wouldn't know God, because most of us came to God in the first place because we went through something. Whether we were hurt, we were attacked, we were losing our mind, we lost somebody, we were frustrated, we're angry with life, it's just overwhelming, too much is going on. We come to Christ in the first place because we've been through something. I don't care how long you've been in church or how many times your parents took you when you were a kid or anything like that. But when you become an actual adult and you go through things in life, we always run back to God. We run back to the church because we know that something's got to happen, right? We've been taught our whole life that God is here and that if we go to Him, that these things are happening. So when we get to that point in life where we're overwhelmed, it leads us right back to Him. But we have to learn how to trust Him no matter what the situation is. And like I said, I'm not saying that means if you're going through things that means it's nothing. No, absolutely not. What we have to do is this. We have to know this. And this is what I tell myself. The first thing I tell myself is that if it's happening, that means God knows it's happening. That means He either made it happen or He allowed it to happen, right? Now, God isn't going to allow anything to hurt us. He's not going to allow anything to destroy us. And if He brought us to that thing, He's going to bring us to that thing. He's never going to give us more than we can handle. And a lot of times the problem is that we focus so much on the issue, right? What do you see? What are you focused on? When you focus on the problem and you make the problem bigger than what it is, then you lose sight of God and what He's trying to do. The first thing that I do when I'm in a situation, when I'm in a storm, and it doesn't matter what it is, because some people can tolerate more than others. I don't care what the storm is. The first thing I focus on is, God, what is the lesson you need me to learn in this? What's going on? What is it that you need me to understand? What do you need me to learn in this? Because a lot of times I feel like we're in these different storms because we need to learn something. We need to learn to trust God in a new way. Or maybe there's a thing that we're doing that God is trying to help us evolve from. Whether that's you dealing with your pride, or maybe you have a bad attitude problem and you don't know how to relax and learn when to just not speak, because every situation doesn't require a reaction. Maybe you have to work on being shy, and God is trying to get you out from behind the scenes and get you in front of the scenes. Either way, there's always something specific God is trying to help us work on. we have to first take note and say, okay, God, what is it that you're trying to help me focus on? What is it about me that you want me to change? What is it that you're trying to do with me? What is it that you're seeing that I'm not seeing? That's the first step. Then understand that God knows exactly what we're feeling. He knows exactly what we're going on. He knows exactly what's happening. He's aware of it already. But do you trust him enough to, even through that storm, keep praying to him and keep trying to figure out, okay, God, where are you taking me? Where is this leading me? What am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do? How do I handle this? You have to keep going to him and keep praying to him daily. And we have to know that God is with us and he sees us. And that storms don't last forever. I think that's really one of the best things that help me when I'm going through something, is knowing that it doesn't last forever. The bad times cannot last forever. So eventually you're going to get to the point where life is starting to get good. But you miss that. You miss it when you quit in the middle of the storm. Because if you keep quitting, you're just going to keep going through it. And it's not going to stop because you took a break. You're just going to keep walking into things, walking into things, walking into things over and over and over again until you decide to deal with you and face whatever it is that God needs you to face. But it's not going to be easy. Absolutely not. But we have to have faith over fear, faith over fear, faith over fear. We have to trust in God and trust in the place where he's leading us to go. And I can't stress enough, it's not easy. I absolutely agree 100% it's not easy. You're going to want to quit. If you don't want to quit, you ain't doing it right. You're going to always want to quit because what God calls us to do is not easy. But we have to know that it's necessary. It's necessary because once you get through that storm, guess what? You're going to meet 5 different people that's going through what you just been through. Now you can help guide them through it because you've been through it. And now you can teach them what God has taught you. And say, hey, look, sis. Hey, look, bro, I promise y'all it's not going to last forever. You know, this is what I did. And God spoke to me here. And this is what he said. And this is how it's going to help somebody else get through it. But if you don't finish the race, if you don't finish that thing, if you don't make it through that storm, and you quit every time it gets too hard, guess what? You can't help nobody because you can't even help yourself. You just stuck in the same spot, focusing on everything that's going wrong in your problem and choosing not to see God. And what we have to understand is that I don't care what you're going through. I don't care how bad that thing is. There's always going to be something positive that you can focus on. And if you choose to focus on God, you can see him in every single situation. It's all about what you're looking at. Your vision, your view. What do you see? What's in front of you? Is there anything to be thankful for? Are there any blessings that are surrounding you? Or is all you see is bad things? Why am I here? God's putting me through this and he's let me go through this. But have you thought about the fact that you're still here? You're still alive. There's still air in your body, still breath in your lungs. There's still purpose for your life. It has not changed because you're going through something. You still matter. You're still important. There's still life in you. There's still destiny in you. God still loves you. None of that has ever changed. And each day we're here, there's another chance to get up and keep pushing forward for what God needs us to do. There's a new day to start over. It doesn't change. It's not going to be erased because you've been through something or because you fell down and you're having a hard time getting back up. Just shake yourself off and get back up. You know what, God? That one hurt. You know what? That took a lot of my pride. You know what? That made me feel some type of way. But you know what? I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep going because there's something more for me in this life. There's something God has placed me here to do. There's something I need to pursue. I need more of him. And the more you go after him, the more he'll be able to fill you. But if you sit in that spot, shaking and just saying, yo, life sucks. I hate what I'm going through right now. It's not fair. I don't deserve this. This shouldn't have happened to me. Why is it happening to me? Why did it have to be me? Why did it have to be me? You're going to always, I tell my husband all the time, you're going to have 1,000,001 reasons to quit. You're going to have 1,000,001 reasons to doubt. There's going to always be something there to make you want to say, nope, I shouldn't have done this. Don't listen to those things. Keep trusting God and keep moving forward. Because I promise you, if you keep pushing through that storm, if you keep pushing through that thing that you're dealing with, whether it's depression or suicide or whatever it is that's weighing you down, if you keep going to God and giving him these things and trusting him, watch how he's going to blow your mind. He's going to amaze you when you see him moving in life and you go, wow, what if I would have had given up? What if I would have quit in this space? I would have never been able to see how great this is. Look at what God is doing in my life. I cannot believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe all these things are happening. And it's all because you had faith. Having faith over fear is like literally the key. It like unlocks the box of treasures and gold that God has. It's really, really, truly amazing. And I just really want to, like I said, just continue to encourage you guys because we're going to go through things in life. That's a given. Nothing we do or don't do is going to stop those things from happening. But what we have to do is try our best. Try your best. Try your best. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. And if you lose focus of God for a second, It happens. I'm not saying that beat yourself down because you lost sight of what was going on. No. What I'm saying is that do your best to focus on him and everything that you're going through. See him. You can see God in every single situation. That's all about what you choose to focus on. So I have 2 Bible scriptures that I wrote down. The first one is, but first seek his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be provided to you. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. That's Matthew chapter 6, verse 33 through 34. And then the second one. If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. That's Jeremiah 29:13. There it is right there. If you look for him wholeheartedly, I don't care what you're dealing with, how it's happening, how many people are coming at you and you feel like you're being squished in this box, and everywhere you turn, somebody just hitting you and knocking you back down every single time you get a chance to get back up. If you search for him, if you search for God, you will find him. In every single situation, if you look for him, you will find him. Sometimes we have to take a second and step back and just think about all the things that we can be grateful for. All the blessings that God has given us already. And the fact that we're just still here, sometimes we just focus on all the negativity. Because, I mean, a lot of us, we've been through some stuff, right? Whether we've been, you know, touched as a child, mistreated as a child, mistreated as an adult. You know, people are just always mean to you. You're always being abused in some type of way. That we go through, a lot of people go through a lot of things in life. That's a given. I get it completely. A lot of times it feels like you got handed the bad end of the stick, right? Like, no matter what you do, nothing is just going your way. Like, it's just not working for me. God, I'm trying my best, and it's just not working. I get it 100%. The one thing that I can say for a fact is that you're still here. You're still here. You're still here, and if you're still here, that means there's still purpose in you. There's still more for you to do. So don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on God, because he's still there. He's just waiting for you to trust him and continuously pursue him. But everything is going to work itself out. All you have to do is trust him. It's trust him, trust him, trust him, trust him, because he's got you and he has your back. And it's not going to be easy. I say it all the time because, listen, yo, I'll be wanting to quit myself. I'm just saying, like, we being honest here, life is not easy, and it gets overwhelming when you're doing your best to pursue God, because the enemy has a job. And that's something we're going to also talk about this month, so stay tuned for that one. That's going to be a good one. The enemy still has a job, so no matter what you do, he's going to be right there just on your heels, just trying to get you to stop. You can't stop that from happening, but we have to have faith. We have to have faith. We have to trust in God. Trust the plan that he has for our life. Trust the purpose that he has put in us. And trust what he's doing in us on a daily basis. You know, these different things that he's working through us, we have to learn how to trust him. It's not easy. Absolutely not. But we have to learn how to trust him. Try to focus on him. Sit down and write down all the things that you have in your life. All the things that God has done in your life. All the things that you have to be grateful for. I promise you it's going to help give you a whole new aspect on life. And just help give you a little bit of strength to keep pushing. Because, again, it's not easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be overwhelming. You're going to have days where you want to quit. Where you're like, look, God, forget you. Because it's just too much going on and you not helping. You're going to have moments. It is what it is. It happens. But you're going to have to sit down. You're going to have to pray. You're going to have to tell God how you feel. God, I need your help. God, I don't see you. God, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this is happening. Reveal something to me. Show me something. Let me know that you're still here. Talk to me. Give me encouragement. Send me strength. And I promise you he'll do it. Because I have plenty of days, plenty of moments where I'm like, look, God, I don't got it in me. I'm tired. I need you to send somebody to strengthen me. Send me some type of encouragement. I promise you, if it's not that day or the next day or the day after, I always end up getting a text message or something from somebody. I'm like, okay, God, I see you. I see you here. He'll give you what you need. You just got to ask for it. Open your mouth and talk to him. Tell him what it is that you need. And he'll give it to you. He already knows. He just wants us to talk with him. That's how a relationship works. Like I talked about last week. You can't have a relationship with somebody if you're not talking to them and tell them how you feel. You can't expect, even though we know God knows how we feel, he still wants us to communicate with him. And in a relationship, if you don't tell somebody how you feel, how do you expect them to know what you feel? They can't read our minds. They can't just look at you and tell that something's wrong. You have to trust in him. So continue to trust in God with your life. And there's one more thing I've written down. And it says, we must remember that God is completely aware of what is going on. And he promises strength and guidance for his people. So we have to know that God is with us. And that he's going to give us the strength. He's going to give us the guidance. He's going to always be there to provide and fulfill our needs. We just have to be patient and trust him. Trust in his plan and know that he is with us. Don't ever doubt what God is doing or why he's doing it. Because we really never know. Majority of the time you don't know until after. Sometimes we never figure it out. But sometimes we figure it out after. Years later or months later, we figure out why God was doing a specific thing. But trust him. Know that he's got your back and he has your best interest at heart always. Always. Know that you matter, what you do matters, and that you are important to God. So trust him with your life, trust him with your plans, trust him with your finances, and trust him with all the things in your life, and know that he's right there with you and he's going to continue to provide. So again, the question is, what do you see? What are you focused on? What are you looking at in life? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Do you see him? Do you see God, or do you see the problem? Do you know that your Father is there with you providing, or do you just feel like he's left you there to try? What do you see? Focus on God. Focus on God. And I promise you, it'll change everything else. I pray that you guys enjoyed this message. Please stay encouraged. It's hard. I get it. But just trust in God. Continue to have faith over fear in this month, in this year, in your life. And trust in God with everything. Knows that he hears you, he sees you, and he knows what you need, and he's going to provide it. Please have a great day. Continue to stay blessed, stay encouraged. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and as I said, comment. Let me know if there's anything specific you guys would like me to talk about. Have a great day. Bye.